Welcome to Science Easy Tech channel, Nothing Made Easy. In this video, we are going to discuss about laryngeal obstruction, which comes under Disorders of Ear, Nose and Throat, Unit 1 in Medical Surgical Nursing 2. Before moving on to the topic, if you are new to Science Easy Tech channel, just take a moment to subscribe our channel and also to press the notification bell icon in order to get connected with our latest updates. Let's move on to the topic. Introduction. So larynx. What is larynx? Larynx is nothing but it is a voice box which is very stiff, which cannot be stretched, and it contains a narrow space between the vocal cords. So it is present between the vocal cords through which air will be passing. Definition of laryngeal obstruction. Laryngeal obstruction means it is the obstruction of the larynx. It can be due to any edema, which is very serious or fatal condition. If you are not treating it, if you are not giving emergency first aid measure, the patient can die. So swelling of the laryngeal mucous membrane may close off the opening tightly so that the patient cannot or the person cannot be able to breathe, resulting in hypoxia or suffocation. Moving on to terminologies related to laryngeal obstruction. Acute laryngeal edema, that is edema formation of larynx. Edema means what? Inflammation. So this leads to injury. Okay, it can be due to injury. This edema can be due to injury or inflammation, which can lead to hoarseness. Hoarseness of voice means change in voice, dyspnea, difficulty in breathing. It is managed by what? By means of tracheostomy, that is opening the trachea, and you can give epinephrine. So epinephrine 1:1000 dilution can be given. Next, laryngeospasm, that is spasm or constriction of the laryngeal muscle. It occurs due to administration of either general anesthesia or it can due to any injury attempt. When you are doing an endotracheal intubation, ET intubation, that time any mechanical injury to the larynx also can lead to constriction. So how it can be managed? It can be managed by opening the airway. So the airway should be kept to open by means of intubation, and you can give oxygen. Then neurotransmitters like blocking agents like succinylcholine, which is a muscle relaxant, can be given. Laryngeal paralysis. This is loss of sensation which can result from any neck radiation surgeries, any surgery to the neck or any tumor which can paralyze the larynx. Any nerve injury can paralyze the larynx. Laryngeal injury. This results from injury or trauma in case of any motor vehicle accidents. Next, moving on to etiology. It can be due to heredity, it can be due to any valve disorders, or it can be due to any thoracic surgeries. What are the clinical features? Hoarseness of voice, dyspnea. Hoarseness means change in voice because larynx is the voice box. Dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing. Aspiration, because the glottis, epiglottis mechanism will not be working properly, so there may be chances for aspiration of fluid or saliva into the lungs. There will be swelling in the neck. The person will be having inability to speak and cough. Moving on to diagnostic findings and management. First, you have to have a thorough history collection before treating the patient, and physical examination. Okay, so history collection, any choking sensation, it's an emergency measure. So do a quick history collection and physical examination. Then maintain the airway. Okay, maintain airway. Avoid heavy alcohol or tobacco consumption. Have a history of current medications, history of any airway problems, recent infections, pain or fever, dental pain or poor dentition, and any previous surgeries, radiation therapy, or any trauma. Then rarely patients with nasogastric tube feedings may develop post-cricoid ulceration. This is called as nasogastric tube syndrome. So if the patient is on Ryle's tube, there may be chances for development of ulceration in the post-cricoid region. So this will be leading to swelling, causing vocal cord abduction. That is, the vocal cord will be moving away from its original place. This can put pressure on the larynx and it can lead to paralysis. Okay, and of the larynx. Ultimately, this can lead to upper airway obstruction. So what comes under management? You have to reduce the inflammation of the larynx, or swelling. So you can give corticosteroids, and if it is an emergency first aid measure, what you can do, if something is choked inside, you can do Heimlich's maneuver or abdominal thrust maneuver. Okay, so you will be giving some diaphragmatic pressure, you will be standing behind the victim and you will be holding the diaphragm and you will be giving abdominal thrust. So this will be increasing the diaphragmatic pressure and that may let out the object which has been choked. So this subdiaphragmatic abdominal thrust maneuver is otherwise called as Heimlich maneuver. Next, establishing airway, oxygen support or ventilatory support ventilation. You can do an emergency tracheostomy, that is opening of the trachea, which is a very good measure for removing the obstruction. Then arytenoidectomy also can be done. Hope this video is clear for you all. Still, if you have any doubts, feel free to post your doubts in comment section. My previous videos link I have given in description box. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. Thank you, friends.